All right, this is Dan Martell. He is a famous venture capitalist. I got a chance to hop on a group call with him and learned a lot of knowledge that he was speaking. And he's closed like 3 mega businesses. Check out his name and just like what he's really accomplished. But here's some insights that I really learned from them that's going to really propel me forward in this AI automation race. So the first thing is look at this dude. He has his Rolex, he has his mansion, his pool, sunny outside. But when he's typing to ChatGPT, he's not really listing the things he has, right? So the reason why I'm showing you this image is because context equals accuracy. When you ask ChatGPT, hey, can you give me advice on running a business? Maybe that advice can be helpful, but if it doesn't know like who you are, what your age is, what do you have, and what do you want to achieve, it's going to give you more, just better advice if you give it context of who you are and just the nuances that you have, then just saying, oh, give me advice, give me leads or whatever. So that's super important. And, it compounds over time. So the more you tell it, the more it will actually train the system to be better. And try to be honest, because if you're not honest, the AI is not going to be honest either. So that is a massive tip. And now all your answers are going to be super, super amazing. All right. Next thing is going to be the pyramid of basically success. And you have to think about this, right? If you can't do, one of these, the whole pyramid breaks. And that's really important because sometimes, like, you can work hard, you didn't really plan out your goals. You can plan out your goals, take action, but if you're not showing up every single day, it's really hard to succeed without one of the other. So let's dive deep into each thing, and I'll kind of just explain why I'm talking about this basic stuff that you've already heard multiple times. So we need to be reminded about things instead of remembering about things, right? Because I can learn 100 different things in AI, but if I'm not taking action, being disciplined, and planning things out, I'm never going to be successful. And that is so real and so true. So that's why action is just so important in your 20s, because you don't have the money, you don't have the connections, and you have all this energy to build, connect, and really gain momentum for your business. So that is a huge one, and I hope that this video really inspires you to be 1% more like Dan Martell. Next thing is I'm going to give an example for this because I go to the gym a lot, but I typically hate going to the gym, right? So what I convince myself is I will go play basketball and I'll actually be like, oh, I'm already here. Might as well hit a workout. And that is discipline. You want to have that and just do something that is really enjoyable, so then you can be disciplined every single day. Because when you're tired, bored, or doubting yourself, there's always going to be someone else who is more disciplined and really keen and focused on what they're doing. So please keep that in mind with working on something, because if you don't have this, then it's going to be really hard to be focused. And I think another important thing too, and the last one, is all entrepreneurs experience some sort of shiny object syndrome, which basically means you are working on something and then you switch and then you work on the next best thing, right? It's good to burn a bridge if you know it's not working out, but at the same time, a lot of entrepreneurs, especially in the AI space, do it way too often. So it's important to kind of just plan out your long-term goals and just delegate your time to certain projects that you are working on instead of not having a plan and just switching and switching and switching, right? That just kills a lot of businesses and that really sucks. So that's kind of the pyramid of just being better. And if you do that for the next 1,000 days, that's going to be massive. You're going to be in places where you can't even think about, in rooms you can't even think about. So that is super important. Lastly, I've learned just so much from Dan. I just wanted to make a video on just, I think, the insights that will really help you the most, especially if you're young, ambitious, you have all this time, but you don't know what to do. Please check this out. I'm not going to really explain too much because of just the value that I've learned. But yeah, see you in the next video.